everyone. We are here with block 10 of our 2020 quilt. So as of today, we are halfway through the project. Yet again, we're dealing with these same two units. We have one more block after today that we're going to be dealing with these. We're just kind of doing this little series to show you how the color placement and the orientation can make a big difference using the same two units. So again, today we're using that Flying Goose and the angled rectangle. This time I'm making my 4 Flying Geese. The goose part of it is the same color in each one, but I have 2 of them that are going to have the lighter colored wings and 2 of them with the darker colored wings. So it does give you an option of using the second method that we talked about for making 4 of them without any waste. So again, you can make them the traditional way by taking your 2.5 by 4.5 rectangle and your 2.5 inch squares and sewing them like we did on the last block. If you like the method where you take the one larger 5.25 inch square and then your 4 smaller squares, you can do it, but you still cannot do the method where you put your line like this and sew and then cut them in half, because again you need to have different colored wings. So you can choose to do the second method. You take this one and cut it in half ahead of time. I'm going to cut it once like this. And I'm going to cut it here. So that's going to give me my 4 Flying Geese, which are all going to be the same color. And then I can take my squares, cut them in half. So I'm going to be able to add 2 blue ones onto here. And then if I cut my 2 red ones in half, they would get added onto here. So if you like this method that has the no waste, you have to choose the cut and then stitch part of it. And again, when you're sewing these, you're just going to match up this bottom corner, leave that little bit of overlap. Let me get that centered for you. Leave that 1/4 inch overlap up here and then sew. Iron it open and then add your second one in. Okay, so those would be your 2 choices for making your Flying Geese for this method. So again, I have everything pre-made here today. So again, I have my 2 red Flying Geese, my 2 blue Flying Geese, and then my 2 red and blue angled rectangles. So again, I have these 2 units already pre-made. So for this block, we're going to be using that method again where my angled rectangle is going to be at the top and my Flying Goose is going to be pointing outward. And this time I want the color of my goose and the color of my angle to be the same fabric, but I want my wings to be the opposite fabric of what my rectangle is. So if I take my angled rectangle with my star pointing up and my red rectangle, I want to add on the goose that has the blue wings. Okay. And then my next one, so my angled rectangles are always going to be in my center. And with my blue one, I'm going to add on my red wings, and that's going to continue giving me that angle. That one would go there. And this one is going to go here. Okay, so I need to sew my 4 units together. And then when I come back and sew my halves together, I just have to make sure that my solid rectangles are in my center and all 4 of my geese are pointing outward. So I'm going to go sew them together and I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back with my 4 units. I have them sewn, pressed, and squared up. So again, I have 2 units where my star fabric is touching, the wings of my geese are the blue, and the rectangle is red. So I have 2 blocks like that, and then I have 2 blocks that are the opposite color. Okay, so now when I put them together, okay, so I want to have the bottom corner of my angled rectangle be into the center. So I'm going to go with this, and then I always want to make sure that I keep doing the opposite color. So next I'm going to add my red and then my blue. Okay, so again, whoops, it kind of just gives you this continuous swirl of the 3 different colors. So again, I'm going to sew my 2 top units together, sew my 2 bottom units together, and then sew my 2 halves together. Alright, so here is my red, white, and blue one that is finished. This was my red and white with my 6 half yards. This is the one I did with my fat quarter bundle. And then this is the one that I did out of my stash. So for a few of you doing a Halloween themed block, this one could be kind of fun because it has a little bit of that spider web look to it.